We're so fucking back, computer. Hello. It's been a little while. I think it's been like a week. It's altogether too long. And it's time to get back into it. 1 second. I have doubled up audio playing. We need to turn that right the fuck off. Let's see. Where's the thingamabob? There we go. Hello. It's been a minute. It has been a real minute. I don't know what to say. It's I've missed you, computer. It's been a while. Why am I still? What the fuck is that? I'm here in my. I have my stream up on the old Twitch thingy on my other screen. It's playing on my headphones. There we go. We're all set now. We're ready to roll, ready to operate. Yeah. So welcome back. I think last we spoke, we were getting up to some Emacs nonsense together. And I think we'll do the same today. I'm starting a little bit earlier today. And I think we'll go a little bit later because I am disposed to stream tonight, I think, and we'll just have a grand old time of it. We'll get into some bits and bobs, some bits and bytes. Really dig around in the guts of the computer a little bit. Have a crazy fun time. Do some wild ass shit together. Yeah, it's time to go. I think. Okay, let's dive right into some stuff. I think. We'll talk a little bit. But before we talk, I wanted to fix something that I noticed last time. Because last time I was tired and I like fucked up this rollout function, and like this let was all weird and like wasn't inside the loop, and I just moved the whole thing inside the loop. It turns out it doesn't all need to be inside the loop. Some of it wants to be outside the loop. So notably, this fuel binding, I think, wants to be up here. But I'm just doing that because I'm somewhat committed to like not working on this off stream, because it's like, I don't know, it's kind of fun to do things live. But we'll fix that right away. Maybe run a rollout too, just to make sure everything's still kosher. Can we do that? Can we do that too? Do we have a buffer? Yeah, we can do something resembling something that makes sense, I think. It's generally good when the things that you do resemble making sense, I think. That's usually a positive. Alright, fine. Fuck you. There we go. Yeah, so what are we gonna get up to tonight? I think well, we're sort of running out of options. We have we're gonna actually have to do some AI stuff maybe. I still think we don't have the clearest picture of exactly how we're going to implement this thing with respect to probabilities. I guess I've thought about it a little bit more, but haven't done any more reading or anything like that. So we can do some reading. We can do a paper / Wikipedia deep dive here on stream. That might be fun. We could also just throw shit at the wall and hope that it sticks to the wall. I think that's potentially promising as well. I don't know. We're gonna try some stuff, and we'll see how it goes. So I think we have most of like, or I mean, if we want to just chill, which I don't know, I might want to just chill. If we're going longer tonight, I might be in a chilling mood. Might be worthwhile to just implement moves. Like right now we have poison powder and flamethrower selected as the two moves that are implemented. We could actually just go ahead and implement every move if we wanted to. If we were brave, and or at least like the moves that we can. Oh, so as I talk, I'm recalling more and more things that we have yet to do. Right? So I mean, we have to implement moves, and we still don't have a framework for effects with timers. So things like or status effects with timers. So things like sleep and freeze. Those are not yet representable, or at least we don't know what the representation looks like. What else? We're not handling any like non-status effect conditions. What you coding, son? Hello, Alto VT. So what we are doing is, all right, let's actually step back a minute because we might have some new peeps here. So what I'm doing is I'm writing an AI that plays Pokemon Emerald. And there's sort of two parts that we've worked on so far. So let's scooch over here. Where are we going? So we have one part that, let's launch an emulator actually. Or if we do that, is that gonna fuck things up? No, let's just do it all. Let's run mgba qt. Let's load up something. We have a recent, yeah, we do. Let's skip through some shit. Bam, bam, bam. So we have this emulator. This is MGBA. It's just like a normal emulator, and it has this cool feature that lets you script it. I think there are other scriptable emulators as well, but this one runs on Linux well, and that's what we'll do. Now that's gonna be a pain in the ass. It's gonna be rude. Don't be rude. You know what? Fine. Have it your way. Not that way. This way. Let's see. It's sort of irritating for me to, I don't have the game paused. It's irritating to get back to the window because of reasons. Let's open this Lua console and pop it down here. And reopen MGBA and do the thing and do the whole shebang. There we go. And we'll load our script here. So we have this Lua script that can read the state of the game, at least some components of the state of the game. And it can also, well, let's actually kill it for now, so we can actually get into the game. And also send keyboard inputs over the network. Like MGBA, I could get neither my DS4 nor my 360 controller to work on it. Tried both Linux and Windows. Yeah, I don't think I've used a MGBA directly with controller. I think I usually, when I've been emulating recently, I usually, like when I'm gaming, when we're getting into some gamer business, I have a GPU pass through VM. So it ends up just looking a lot like running. Usually, I think I use RetroArch because RetroArch, like if you run RetroArch through Steam, like with the Steam controller stuff, I think that generally handles everything. Like I was able to get some wonky situations. Like I think I was playing like some SNES stuff recently, and it worked fine with like a Bluetooth DualShock 5. Let's pop in here so we can show off. But yeah, you can do things like if I load this script, let's see. Yeah, it's sort of, I don't know. I think there are some good and bad things about it. I think there are like some of the cores are like known to be like they're like very outdated versions of certain emulators, I think was my understanding. What port are we on? Oh, socket. Where are we actually binding the socket? 31339. Okay. 31339. Yeah. So you can see like we can connect like another program, right? This will eventually be like a whole interface to the emulator, and we can say things like move down 2 and move down 2 tiles, right? And there's also stuff like we can send yeah, having everything in one interface. Yeah, I mean it's sort of a blessing and a curse, right? Because you can like I like the standardization of it, but on the other hand, it's like I don't know, it can be kind of a pain in the ass. It's I don't know. Sometimes things get less accessible and it's harder to find like configuration stuff, and yeah. I feel you. I think if I say send state, that, yeah. So we can also send from the emulator here, like a representation of like a bunch of stuff that's happening in the game. Like you can't see it very clearly here, but this is like all of the collision data for everything in the current room, where we are, what route we're on, like coordinates for the player, elevations, stuff like that. And also information about like what menu you're in and all that stuff. So the goal is to connect this, which will proceed to, I'm going to quit out of this because I think it's making me flicker. The goal is to connect this with, where am I going? Boop, boop, pop. With this higher level AI that's written in Emacs Lisp that is going to drive the actual gameplay. So what we've been mostly building is some stuff related to actually like simulating battles and winning battles, because that seems like a fun AI task versus like the movement, which is going to be like, I don't know, mostly pathfinding with a lot of hard-coded stuff with like, okay, here's your destination, here's your first destination, you do this gym and then you do this gym, and you like, you know, the basic like just go here, talk to this person kind of structure of the game. But the battle AI is interesting. So I'm building some battle AI, I guess, and we're building it on a framework called Monte Carlo Tree Search, which is the kind of the way that AlphaGo works. It's sort of a traditional AI method is tree search, which is you build a tree of the moves of the game, and then you search that tree for like the most winning outcomes, right? And in big games, you have to prune the tree, and you have to like use heuristics to do estimation, because you can't like exhaustively enumerate all the moves in chess, for example. It's just like way too big. Monte Carlo tree search is sort of this like probabilistic approach where you kind of infer what the right move is based on random samplings of possible moves. Like you just like simulate random games where like both players take random moves, and you just do that a bunch of times, and you use that to like draw conclusions based to like determine which move is the right thing. So that's what I've been building, and as part of that, we built a kind of a little battle simulator for Gen 3 Pokemon. So we can do things like I was just running. We go to the log, like we can run these rollouts, right? Like, so given the state of the game, we can like simulate random actions taken by both teams. Like we can list the possible actions that are accessible in a given state. We can then run like random actions from that state until the end of the game. I think this is, I'm not giving it enough potential turns. So if we give this like 100 turns, right? It'll just keep running the game. Right now it's just two Pokemon on each team, and they both only know Poison Powder and Flamethrower. And oh, it looks like this one actually was won due to a burn. That's very cool. I think if I say Team 1 active status. Yeah, that's neat. So we're like simulating a lot of things in the game right now. Like we have like a basic framework where we can do like damaging moves and some simple status conditions and like stat boosts and stuff like that. But we still have a lot to go, right? Like there's a whole bunch of like crazy special case Pokemon moves that we need to handle eventually. So that's the direction we're headed. So kind of yeah. I think we're gonna keep slowly stitching everything together till we eventually have something that can do the game. And yeah, wow, it's cool that we not actually had a test where one party was burned, and it was cool to see the burn happen. That is neat. And why I'm doing this in Emacs Lisp, it's just because it's fun and cool. This would be way, way better in... It's probably like... I figured like sort of the main mechanism that this Monte Carlo tree search thing works by is like running these random rollouts until the end of the game. And ideally you want to run a lot of them each turn. So it's pretty performance sensitive. So I think if we were being smart people, we'd write this in like Rust or something. Or at least like, I don't know, like Haskell or Common Lisp or something. But instead we're gamers. So we're doing it in Emacs. And I was musing a little bit last stream, thinking like, okay, maybe we can at least parallelize this thing because like, fuck, it's gonna be slow. But Emacs threads are in fact fake threads. They're like Python, and they're like apparently all kinds of fucked up, and they're pretty new and like not super well proven. So I don't know what we're gonna do. Maybe we'll run like multiple instances of Emacs, like 5 different processes, and do some dispatch or something like that. I don't know. We're gonna try all kinds of shit. This is gonna be a real shitstorm. NixOS actually good. I think so. I guess I can give a little bit of my history in that regard. I think NixOS and UX, or I think it's pronounced Geeks, maybe the GNU version that does the same thing with Guile Scheme. I think it's easily the best like package management solution. I think it's those are the only 2 distros that I found to be materially better than the others. So I used Ubuntu for a long time, and then Arch, and then I used Gentoo a bunch, and then finally I used Geeks, and then finally Nix. And Nix has been like far and away the best thing, right? Like you can just do so much crazy shit, and it's like, even if you're not trying to do crazy shit, the like built-in like the package repository is exhaustive enough that it's like more convenient than other things you might be doing. And you just do cool stuff, right? Like I have my whole configuration for this system and a bunch of other systems. It's just like one file, so I could just like wipe this whole system and like get it back up with all this like configuration shit in like, I don't know, like 20 minutes. It would be fast. So I don't know. There's I don't know how easily I can convince you in just a short amount of time, but it's definitely not a meme. It's definitely like, if you learn it, it's like you have fucking superpowers, and I have found it worthwhile, at least. Okay, what are we thinking about doing next? I think we're gonna do the little status condition thing. That seems interesting. I think like buffing up our simulator as much as possible to like support at least a lot of the obvious things is gonna be the way to go. I think that's gonna give us some benefit. So what will we do? Why is this provide here? That does not look right. Did I copy and paste something weird? I guess I did. It's fine. Okay. How are we going to do that? I think... Well, let's check something. Well, let me save this so I can easily... Yeah, there we are again. Let's go to Bulbapedia and let's look at sleep. Fedora KDE on your laptop, and you might try NixOS. Yeah, I haven't used Fedora. I think if I recall correctly, Fedora, or like the Red Hat ecosystem, has something that's like trying to do something similar to, like, one of the cool NixOS features is like, since your system is all like just like symlinks to a big pile of things that never change, like packages don't get mutated. You can, like, if you like have your system and then update it and install a bunch of new stuff, you can just roll back in the bootloader. Like, so if you accidentally break something, you can just like time travel back in time. And yeah, Silverblue does it in like a different way, I think, with like file system images, or like, I don't, it's something strange. I haven't looked into it that much, but I know at least that feature is replicated by Fedora somewhere in that ecosystem. All right, we're checking on sleep. We're gonna be snoozing here. All right, the counter is not reset upon switching out. Yeah, that's the thing we wanted to care about. So like, this is gonna be a property of the well, that's 1 to 6 turns. So how are we? Do we know the chance of waking up? Well, I guess we just roll the duration when sleep is afflicted and then just decrement it every turn. 1 to 5 turns, rather. So we just roll 1 to 5 when we apply sleep, and then just count down? Question mark? That seems fine. And like, there's no change to like the valid commands that can be input when you're sleeping. Like you can still try and use any move. It's just whether that move succeeds. So I think that's fine. Yeah. Okay. So how are we going to represent that? I think. All right, where are we going? Battling Pokemon. Or Defstruct. There we go. Okay. So we have this status field already. Let's just add status timer. Let's make it 0 by default, right? And it's fine. Like, if the current status doesn't have a relevant timer, it's fine if it's just whatever, unspecified. And then I think what we'll do is, well, we have something that applies at the end of every turn. But do we want this to apply at the end of every turn? Hey, thank you, Olga Kami, and also welcome. It's yeah, it's actual text, right? So my where's the parlor trick? I can this is a real terminal, so if I squish myself, I'm gonna get all stretched out. I can copy and paste myself. It's scrolling by very fast, so I can't copy and paste it super effectively, but I could in theory. Just whole bunch of letters. Cool. Thank you. It's I don't know, something different to try. We're experimenting a little bit, trying some shit out. I think my original idea was I wanted to have like speech recognition to like detect what I'm saying also, and then have the backdrop text be like the last thing I said, but I haven't tried that yet. I worry it's going to be too distracting, but we'll do that we will do that on stream probably eventually. Right, what are we going for? End of turn. Yeah, end of turn. So among the other things that we do at end of turn, we want to okay, what are we gonna say? So when the battling Pokemon's status timer is greater than 0, you want to decrement it by 1. How are we doing that? Do we have? Yeah, we do. Yep. Okay. And similarly for the other team. We have a little timer now, and we can use that to influence our whether or not you can act while sleeping. So where is our resolve move code? So we're already checking this all when and hit before we even check if it's a hit or if there's immunity or anything, right? We want to check if we can act. So how do we know if we can act? So we can act. Let's actually just say can act is well, let's also say full para. So if we're fully paralyzed, that means we are and we need our battling Pokemon too. So we're going to check our status condition and see if it is paralyzed. So, well, let's just our status. This is all very verbose, but I think it's we've made our bed. We're going to very thoroughly lie in it. Or battling. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so if S equals our status, what is the paralyzed acronym? Paralysis. PAR. PAR. We're going to call it that. And if a random, like, what's the paralysis chance? We gotta see. So all this shit changes every game, and there's all kinds of. It's unable to attack a quarter of the time, and it seems like that is generally always the case. Okay. So equals random 3, because I think we established, no, it's random 4, I think, because it's not inclusive on the upper limb. Yeah, so if we go to a REPL and we say random 4, this is going to give us values between 0 and 3. Let's convince ourselves of that. Come on. Yeah, there's some zeros. So equals random 4, 0, right? So we're fully paralyzed if we actually are paralyzed, and this random number between 0 and 3 is equal to 0. We are slept if our status is sleeping, and our status timer that we're now decrementing, and greater than our status timer 0. Cool. And then we'll say can act is just not or full para slept. We actually have a not. These are highlighted because they're macros, because they short circuit. Okay. Very cool. So now we know. We can just say when we can act and we roll a hit and the opponent is not immune to the type of the move, then we do the thing. We apply the move's damage if the move has power. We check if the opponent fainted. Then if the move has an effect, which it will just be a function, we call that function on the current state, and then we again update whether or not the opponent fainted. Cool, cool, cool. Does this seem to work? What is complaining? Oh, yeah, parentheses. Yep. Makes sense. I gotta get a cold one. Very cool. What is next in our little quest? Like, is this sleep and like this just okay, we just have sleep now, right? Because if we all we need to do is set, if we're sleeping for a random number of turns, we set, since we're decrementing at the end of the turn, and we want to sleep for at least one turn. We should really decrement when the Pokemon acts, right? Because if you just like, I think if you just switch a lot, right? Like that's not actually, like you're passing turns, but you're not actually decrementing, like. Let's go back. We gotta go back. Let's see. Oi, oi. Yeah, I think we want to decrement sleep during resolve move. That seems like the right thing. So where's our? We'll remove these. And of course, we'll fix this if we find that we fucked up. But at least this matches my intuition. I think we want to just say when we actually are slept, then we decrement that thing. Right? I think so. Yeah. Yeah, because you're always going to miss at least one turn. So how would this work? So if the opponent, and this works properly in the presence of like speed and stuff, right? So like, let's say the opponent is faster than us and they sleep us, right? And we've gone to sleep for, we got the 1 turn roll, right? Then we're not going to act on our turn because we've slept. This is going to be decremented. So now our sleep timer is 0, and then the next turn they'll go, and then we'll go. Otherwise, if they are slower than us, this still works, right? Because we'll move, they'll sleep us, and then the next turn we will be slept, and they'll go, and the next turn we'll wake up. So yeah, I think we have to do it here, otherwise it makes no sense, right? Because like the place, yeah, this is the place. This is what we want. Good. What else? Oh, what we do need is this is not greater than slept 0. This is slept. Well, let's actually do a little. Will this return? Yeah, the return value is the decremented value of place. So then we can say, so when the result of our decrement is 0, we will also actually remove the status. Just to clean up, because it won't actually matter. Why are we pressing function keys on this? I've been bitching about this keyboard for like 4 streams now, and I think it's getting close to time to get something a little less shitty. Yeah, so let's just set the status to nil. Does that make sense? Right, let's add a move that sleeps then. Let's make spore. Oh, and let's make apply status. Where is apply status? Sleep, like, I don't think things are like immune to sleep. Yeah, sure. Let's give this an optional. Oh, but in Emacs you have to use like CL defun. There's some, yeah. Well, we have an optional shenanigans here. I think we can say optional timer 0 question mark. Well, we just say this, and then we could say when timer setf status timer. That works, right? What are you bitching about, Emacs? Oh boy. Oh, at least we got a little confused with our parentheses. That'll happen. That will certainly fucking happen. But it's fine. I think we're good to go. Okay. Hello, welcome an unspecified quantity of pi. You understand nothing on your screen, but this is pretty chill to listen to. Well, I hope that's the goal. We're doing something that's like, I know a lot of people on here are streaming like leak code grinding and stuff, and like trying to, I don't know, we're less trying to do anything in particular, I guess. We're trying to just have some fun with the computer. So if this is just like a cool thing you can listen to in the background and have some good vibes, I think that's perfect. I think thanks for coming around. We're gonna do some shenanigans and again just have some fun with my good friend the computer. Cool. So what's next? What's going on? So we have these timers. We can apply a status. We're going to our poison powder definition again. We're going to make another move. That move is going to be called spore. Its type is grass. We're just going to find that move on Bulbapedia. Woo. There we go. Spore. It's got 24 PPs. It's got no power. It's got 100% accuracy. And its effect is apply status, sleep, random 5. This will give us a random number between 0 and 4. We want a random number between 1 and 5. So we're going to say random 5 plus 1. Yeah, there we go. That looks perfect. I think, alrighty. Let's give this to one of our Pokemon and then simulate some games. So who's our guy here? This guy has flamethrower and poison powder. Let's just give this guy flamethrower for now. Just give this guy spore for now, or rather poison powder, because they're both immune to poison, I think. So this one is steel type and one is poison type or something. That makes sense. I think it makes sense. All right, let's go back to our over here. pop our log open, run a rollout. Rollout st and say 10. Well, oh, we need to add some actions. We need to add some log messages for status conditions. Let's do that. Because right now we don't know when like status is being inflicted. So let's print something. Log, I think it's write log, right? Yeah, write log. Well, what are we gonna say here? We'll just say inflicted whatever the status was. And then we'll say if timer, then oh yeah, we have to actually space things out a little more nicely. There we go. Blah 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 blah. We're saying if timer, then sconcat for number to string. You do this with format probably. Let's just do that. For turns timer. Otherwise, nothing. Okay. Let's go back to the log, back to the REPL, run the rollout again. Well, we're not seeing, well, there we are. Inflicted sleep for 5 turns. Sure. What we also want to see, well, let's go like small mode over here so we can just like make some small changes real quick when we're dicking around. What we also want to see is when status conditions apply. So let's go back here. So when we're slept, we'll say write log could not move due to sleep. I don't know, just something easy. Yeah. Well, why is team one? Oh, because they both have both Pokemon. Okay. One could not move to sleep. Yeah, shit's happening. Well, let's reset the game. And let's run like a full. Well, I mean, no one's ever gonna win because nothing can deal damage, but yeah, gotta sleep for 1 turn. Why is that? Maybe we are. So we're inflicting sleep for a turn here, right? And we would expect team 2 to not be able to act here, but we still can. That is a question that we will need to answer. I'm not sure exactly how we're going to answer it. Really our this approach to this, like, I don't know, we need more robust debugging tools probably, because just like dumping everything is a little. This is primitive stuff. We're in Emacs here. We have the capacity to do all sorts of junk. We don't need to just like have print statements. But I digress. What will we do? So we inflicted sleep for 1 turns. Where is... It only happens here. It only happens here. It only happens when we're slept. And the check for sleeping occurs... Are we not setting the status timer? Or where's apply status? Here we are. One timer. We're doing the 4 end turns thing. Aw. What is the deal? I wonder. Maybe that's a bad interaction with the switch. That's possible, I guess, but it shouldn't be, right? Like we should be re-grabbing the battling Pokemon at the beginning of when we are at the beginning of apply status, where we're getting the active Pokemon for the team and all that stuff. Confusing. Why are we not saying could not act? What is going on? Oh. Maybe we're not checking if there's already a status or something. Well, they shouldn't be poison, but like something's fucked up here. Something's getting real confused. Let's not print out these lists of actions. That's just clogging up the thing, and I think we're okay there right now. We're not super worried about that. Let's reset. Reset. Okay. Team 1 switches, Team 2 uses Spore. Sleep is inflicted for 2 turns. Team 1 switches again, Team 2 uses Spore. Sleep is inflicted for 3 turns. Team 1 is sleep for 3 turns. They use Poison Powder, they can't move. Team 2 uses Spore and inflicts sleep for 4 turns. Yeah, so it sounds like we're not checking if there's an existing condition. Team 1 could not move to use sleep. 1 turn again. Team 2 switched, and Team 1, now Team 1 is acting. So maybe it looks like, well, looks like the durations are 1 turn shorter than we want them to be. So we'll need to check on that. We also need to check apply status again, because we need to check there's an existing status. We should be checking that, right? We're checking Smaragdus battling Pokemon status battling. Something is fishy. Or maybe it's just wearing off too early, right? Like 2 turns, 3 turns. It's used once. Are we still? Let's evaluate. I wonder if we didn't reevaluate the function that the end of turn thing, you know, it's happening at the end of turn as well. That seems like a sufficiently weird thing. Oh, we did. So like, what's happening here? Oh, like we should also make it so both of them like aren't switching all the time. That is complicating the situation. So let's where's, you don't want Team 1 to have the bench. You are getting commented out. So team 1 will always use poison powder. Team 2 switches, team 2 switches, team 2 poison powders. Okay, team 2 spores here. Sleep for 5 turns. Team 1 turn could not move to sleep. It only lasts for 1 turn. Aw. What the fuck? That is a little bit janky, and I'm not quite sure what the deal is. Let's print the current status every turn. Because we're printing the HP, right? So where am I saying team 1? Yeah, let's do some parentheses. And we'll say we'll grab the status. Battling Pokemon status, battling 1. And we'll also grab the status timer, that thing. This is kind of gross, but like, yeah, we're kind of just fucking around. It's not a real problem. Yeah, we make parentheses, and we do this again, and we make more parentheses. We'll space it out a bit. And this was battling 2. Okay. Very nice. So go to defrst, run it. Bam. Okay. Yeah, here is the weird shit. So sleep is getting decremented by 4 turns here. Yeah, it's getting decremented by 4 turns every time. We have, yeah, nil 3, that's fine. Just use poison powder a whole bunch. Or wait, what the fuck is happening here? There's some crazy shit going on. I will tell you what. What is this? Something very strange, clearly. This time it lasted, like, this just went down to 4, and then the sleep went away. Like, at the very least, the sleep should only go away when this is 0. Oh. That's what it is. This is just... How silly. We need an equal 0. Jeez Louise. Alright, maybe that resolves some of our confusion. It's a confusing conclusion. Yes, tell me, please. Yeah, and the fact that this my cursor changes to a little clock when I run this for only 100 turns is a sign of exciting things to come, where exciting means bad. Because we're going to want to be running this for at least 100 turns, like 1,000 times every turn. So that indicates to me that we are going to have some exciting work to do in the future. I think that's going to be real great. One moment, I think. Screens is turning off. Come back. Guess it's a lost cause. We've lost one, and we'll We'll have to go fix him later. All right, so does this look more like something that we expect? Okay, so Spore is used. Sleep is inflicted for 3 turns. Sleep. Couldn't move, couldn't move, couldn't move. Woke up, used a move. Bunch of poison powders. Poison powders. Why is it picking the one move so much more often? I don't think it's actually more often. It's probably just like, so what is that? It's like 15 heads in a row. Oh, yeah. That's like a whole bunch of heads in a row. Oh no, it's because one team is switching and the other, this is team, I thought this was all team 2, but of course this is listed in priority order, right? So whenever team 2 switches instead, team 1 who can only use poison powder. It's actually like there's like yeah, it's like a 75% chance of happening or something. Yeah. Okay, Spore, 2 turns, couldn't move, couldn't move. Spore, 4 turns, couldn't move, couldn't move, couldn't move, couldn't move, and could move. Okay, that seems good to me. I'm thinking that's kind of right, or at least it's close enough to right for now. All right, let's re-embiggen our code and also reposition ourselves in the chair so that we don't get fucking scoliosis. Oi, oi, oi. Okay. What to do next? So we've implemented sleep and paralysis. Let's do freezing too, just so we have like all, because then we'll have all the status conditions, I think. Right? We don't have toxic still, but we can do toxic easily now with our new timer system. And that'll be very cool. Let's see. Oy. Well, because toxic is different from sleep, right? Because the sleep timer decrements. The sleep timer persists when you switch out. Oh, hey, an unspecified quantity of pie. Thank you for the follow. Love it. You were hoping to not be embarrassed because I don't have alerts. Sorry, but yeah, it's very much appreciated and welcome. Cool. So toxic is different in the sense that while sleep, the counter is preserved across switches, right? Like you can use a move if you have a sleep timer for 2 turns, you can use a move, switch out, switch back in, use another move, and then you'll wake up, right? Like you're not resetting. Whereas toxic resets every time you switch, right? Like you can keep like toxic. I think it doubles the damage it deals as a percentage of your health every turn, but it resets to the lowest level every time you switch. Like it's just safe since it just increases as you're in battle. So that warrants like, or at least we need some logic on the switch to handle that. And yeah, we still have to think about, well, there's like a bunch of different situations that you can possibly switch in off of, right? Like there's the normal switch, that's the switch after something faints, and there's like baton paths, which we're not handling, but like I think we're handling them all in like a reasonable enough way that it probably works out. I just want to avoid like, especially for move stuff, I want to avoid like having to like build like special case infrastructure as much as possible. That just seems very nasty if we're implementing like 250 moves. All right, let's do confusion, or let's do freeze first, and then we'll do the like confusion as our first like pseudo status effect. Let's think about that. We have we've moved on from plain LaCroix tonight to lime flavored. Anyone else sipping anything good? Any slurpers in the chat? All right, where are we looking? Probably we're in the can act again. We'll just say frozen. And do the exact same logic. And we'll actually just say that. That seems okay. Cool. Let's see, what is... I think freezing, outside of like fun, I think fun fact, you think that obscure facts about children's video games are fun. I think Frozen in Generation 1 just like freezes you forever because of a bug. I think that's like a thing, because like people still play like Gen 1 competitive, I guess, as much as it's as much as it can be competitive on Pokemon Showdown. And like if you're frozen, you're just dead. Yeah, cannot be thought out in battle. And then a bunch of like horseshit Gen 1 stuff. Man, playing Gen 1 on stream would be so much fun. I don't know. I have never actually played Generation 1 Pokemon. I'm a little too much of a zoomer for that. But I mean, of course, I've played like like Fire Red and Leaf Green, but I haven't like got like actually played like Pokemon Red or Blue. I've like watched a lot of like stuff about it, and like I know a little bit. But it'd be fun to like do like a run on stream, like where we like full on are like going crazy, like doing like arbitrary code execution, but like actually like writing custom code, like have the disassembly of the game open in the other window and like develop like custom exploits and stuff. That'd be sick. Maybe that's a future stream idea for sure. It's like, of course we could just look up how to do stuff, but like we could look up the basics then and then do the cracking ourselves. That'd be fun. All right, so you have a thaw chance. Oh, so there isn't a timer, actually. That's actually easier. Okay. Yeah, it's just an indeterminate number of turns. That's actually really not bad at all. But unfortunately, we're not going to be able to share our logic. But you can unfreeze immediately? Yeah, I assume you can. So frozen is just going to be if s equals our status frozen. Well, we want to do a little more, I guess. Because we want to like also do the random roll and also update whether we're frozen or not. Okay, what are we gonna do about that? What will we do about that? Well, I guess we'll just say thawed. That's like a fine way to say it. We thawed specifically if we were frozen, and we get some sirens outside. I don't know if my microphone picks those up, but let's hope it chills a little bit and doesn't. Looks like it's fine. All right. I'm trying to I'm like chugging seltzer water and trying to like hide myself burping, but one of these times I'm just gonna like full out blast this microphone, and it's gonna be very different. It's gonna be out of character. Everyone knows that talking copy pastas don't burp. Okay. So what are we saying here? We're saying random 5 0, right? Because it's a 1 in 5 chance. So if thought is true, that means Well, we'll split this up a little bit. Frozen is just this. Thawed is both we are frozen and we rolled the dice correctly. So it's or full para slept or and frozen not thawed. Right? So we can act. So we're rolling, we're checking if we're frozen. If we are frozen, thawed is true if we thawed. If we are both actually frozen, yeah. So can act as if none of these things are true. Either we are fully paralyzed, we are still sleeping, or if we are actively frozen and we did not thaw out this turn. And then if we are thawed, just thawed, then we will set f this just this thing. We are actively thawed. We'll set the condition to 0 or to nil. Oh, this is frozen, not thawed. Duh. Cool. I think that's fine then. That's what we want. Now we have, I think, all of the effects of all of the base status conditions, like the ones that show up, the ones that are like real, right, and persist when you switch out. Right, so burn deals damage every turn and halves the damage of physical attacks. Paralyze quarters your speed in Generation 3, I think, and has a 25% chance to block your actions. Sleep randomly lasts for some duration of turns, right? We're saying some duration. It's not always, because it's not always 1 to 5. It can be like if you use rest, it's only 2. So it's a move dependent number of turns. Frozen prevents you from moving indefinitely and has a 20% chance of thawing every turn. And poison deals damage every turn. We don't have toxic yet. Maybe let's just do toxic. How are we going to track that? Well, I think that's just, so here's another place where our distinction between the active and the active Pokemon and the battling Pokemon comes into play. Because we'll add a field, like the status condition and the status timer exists on, excuse me, talking is thirsty work. The status timer exists on the battling Pokemon, right? So it can be on the bench. Whereas the active Pokemon is like for things that are only occur like when we're in battle. And like that seems like exactly what the toxic timer is. Do we have anything like that? No, we don't. Active Pokemon, or we're gonna say make active Pokemon. Yeah, there we go. All right. That's not what we want. We're up here. Let's say, what is this called? Let's say this is turns active. Oh no, we don't want turns active. We just want toxic timer. Like, it appeals to me to say something, oh, it's just like, this is just abstractly the number of turns that we've been in, and then maybe multiple moves will use that. The issue is, of course, that the toxic timer doesn't care about how long you've been in the battle. It cares about either how long you've been in the battle or when you were toxicked, right? So the way this is going to work, it's specific for toxic, right? So it's 0. It's reset to 0 whenever you switch in, and every turn at the end of the turn, if you have toxic, it is the toxic damage is applied, and then this number is incremented by 1. The toxic damage is just like something raised to the power of this. I think that works. So where do we say make active Pokemon? Because I think we make active Pokemon when we switch, right? Yeah, when we resolve a switch. This should just default, like the default value is 0. This should just default it to 0. And where do we say tox? That's when we inflict the thing. Where do we deal poison damage? So here, there's that. Let's say, okay. S equals tox, the first Pokemon's condition. So what we want to do is first we want to apply percentage damage here. We'll see what that damage is later, and then we're going to want to CL IncF Ragus active Pokemon toxic timer active 1. Sure. And this is not fully right yet because we need to fix this number. But I'm trying to think of corner cases, right? Because corner cases are our bread and butter here in Pokemon land. And I'm thinking, like, okay, what about where else will we need to reset the timer? Because right now we're only resetting the timer on a switch. Well, there are moves that can heal status conditions. Like you can use like Heal Bell or whatever, right? So if you have Heal Bell and you're toxic and then you Heal Bell yourself, does that reset the timer? My hunch is actually that it doesn't in older generations, probably. But let's see. Back over to Wikipedia. In the previous generations, it switches to normal poison when you switch out. Something like that. It also affects other recurring damage in Gen 1. How fun. If a badly poisoned Pokemon uses Baton Pass or Heal Bell, N will not be reset. Yeah. Is that also the case in Gen 3? Maybe there's more info on, like, this is the page for the move Toxic. Toxic is just like, I always, like, I'm in my mental model and in our code model, we're treating it as a separate status condition entirely, right? And we'll deal with the consequences of that if we need to. But fucking in the game it's just poison, but just like with different effects, which always peeves me. All right, poison taken at the end of each turn, regardless of whether Pokemon faints. Badly poisoned Pokemon will remain badly poisoned even if switched out if the battle ends, although the counter is reset. Gen 3 Toxic Heal Bell. Are you going to tell me something useful? Maybe just, I don't know. If worst comes to worst, we're going to check this in the game source code. That seems like a fun exercise. Tell me what the effect of the goddamn move is, please. Thank you. Well, I'm not gonna get that detail here. Let's find it. Let's find this shit. We're gonna go on a tangent. It's tangent time. Ring the tangent bell. We are we're on the war path. We're in the war room. Let's go to Poke Emerald. CD SRC. And we're searching for Toxic, baby. You know it. There we go. We got a bunch of stuff. That looks like a thing. This looks like maybe an effect to heal toxic. Yeah, this is using moves in outside of battle, maybe? No, it should be in battle, right? Like, is toxic like poison affects you outside of battle, right? Does toxic persist, or does that turn into normal poison? That's fucked up. Pokemon use maybe this is the same. Maybe it just works the same way everywhere. Yeah, this is X items too. Wow. Toxic. Well, we're gonna want to find the toxic counter, I think. That status 1 toxic counter seems very promising for us. It seems like, yeah, end of turn bad poison. So toxic counter is just, so what is this? Toxic counter is just like a bit. Like this is like the actual status condition is just like a bit field, right? So each bit signifies a different. Oh, so I guess you can maybe have multiple. Maybe it's just the toxic bit that in addition it's like a, this is like a byte and like 7 bits are like the actual status condition, and then there's I don't know. This is weird, but it's fine. So we just know that 1 bit, the bit that is this, denotes whether you are toxic, and this shit, this macro. Oh, so we're actively adding. Oh ho ho. Something's funky. We gotta find out what all this stuff is. This is kind of exciting. All right, let's skedaddle. Let's go into include, because that's probably where the macro is. Why am I fuck something up badly? Maybe not. This one toxic turn. Okay. Oh, so are they all just separate bits? Oh, and toxic counter is, oh my, it's a bunch of bits. Oh, nifty. Ah, so it just starts off set to one of these. So the question is then, since the counter is just stored in the status condition field, if we trying to get more creative with my ums, my what's the word for that? Like a vocal pause. I keep them a little bit musical, I think. We'll get a little fancy. So what's the deal? What is the deal with this? So if just like status, so these are different status conditions, right? All of the information about all status conditions is stored in this single, like presumably a short, as like a bit field, right? So there's a bit for each status condition, and then there's 3 bits for the sleep timer, and there are 4 bits for the current level of toxic poison. I wonder, like, if heal bell just sets status 1 to 0, then it's also going to reset the counter. So let's find heal bell. We're doing novel research here. This is what they call fancy shit in the business. Not really. I don't know. We're having fun. We're having a good old time. We're gonna want to see affect heal bell, probably. Maybe. No, that's just like what's gross. Where does it do the thing? Show me where you do the thing. The thing that you do. Please do it. Heal party status. So here's where the what we've been calling an effect. Here's where that is stored. Just in this status 2 field, but status 1 is set to 0. You probably should use the macro. You should just say status 1 none. That would improve readability. Not really at all meaningfully, but that's the kind of it's free pull request real estate if you're looking for one. So yeah, there's a bunch of stuff. But I mean, ultimately the thing that it does is if you're not soundproof, or if the ally isn't soundproof, we're not soundproof, set it to 0. I buy that. Okay. Okie dokie. So we just need to remember to handle that with heal bell. And that's totally fine. We just need to remember to reset the toxic timer as well. We've learned something. This is good. This is okay. I think we're making some progress. Okay. Back to toxic. Because we need the percentage to be the right thing. And yes, we're using floating point numbers, and they're definitely not. I don't even know if does the GBA, does the ARM chip in that have on chip floating point? Can we find any details about the processor? This guy? ARM7 TDMI floating point. Yeah, not every ARM processor has an FPU, right? And that's what we thought. Game Boy Advance FPU? Question mark? Someone's written something about it. Floating FPU? Well, doesn't look like it, maybe. Yeah, so, but regardless, we're definitely doing it in a different way, right? So we're not going to be perfect, right? Rounding errors will probably fuck us in the end, but I mean, hopefully it doesn't matter, right? All of, like, the fortunate thing in that regard with respect to Pokemon is that everything is sufficiently random that it doesn't matter. Like, we're just going to like, I don't know, it doesn't matter if the ends of our ranges are slightly off, probably, right? Like, it's not like reliable anyway. Emacs, welcome, chaotic. I never know how to pronounce that. The Don, I guess it's Don Quixote, so it's chaotic Quixotic 999 question mark. Yes, we are Emacs bound, my friend. We are living in Emacs, actually. All right. What needs to happen? We need so toxic damage is what? Is it 1/16 and it doubles every turn? 1/16 in the first turn. increases by 1/16 every time it takes poison damage. Is that really the same? Like, is it just additive? Well, I guess it is. That works. Sure. So we also want to, when we increment this, we want to make sure it caps out at 15. Right? Yes. So maybe we do just say set f this thing to, oh, it's all good, my friend. I like, I don't know, it's a good name. I like Don Quixote. It's good stuff. It's kind of a clever little thing. We have a copy of the, I don't know, what are the other, I don't know the names of any other works by Cervantes, but I have like a copy of the exemplary novels, I am told, by Cervantes. Short little thing. Haven't read it though. It's in the unread stack at the moment. Yeah, so we want to set this to this +1 min 15. Right? Yeah, there's our upper bound. There we go. We want this to just be 0.0626125. I'm not crazy, right? That's 0.125 divided by 2, right? We'll get check. Oh, just this wrong? What are we fucking up here? Do I just not know how to do math? I just don't know how to do math. I'm fine. I'm fine, I swear. I swear I'm fine. And we will copy and paste that because we don't care about, we're nasty little gamer children. We don't like to abstract things. Okay. Sure. So we have all the status conditions now. Maybe we should also work on some status 2s. So things like the aforementioned confusion. I guess maybe Bulbapedia will have a list of those for us. I know like Nightmare was also mentioned. Leech Seed, Ingrain. Oh yeah. And those are more exciting because you can have multiples. So we have to check contains instead of equals. Wow. Holy moly. We're advancing to new heights of computer scientific wisdom. Checking if something is in a list. What? Doing it in linear time? Because it's a small list? What? Confusion. There we go. Press enter. Click. Status condition. Oh, they're called volatile status conditions, guys. I'm sorry. I have betrayed us. I've betrayed our future. Betrayed the consistency of our naming scheme with my poor choices. Fuck. Bumping into stuff. Riding around in my Herman Miller. Crushing the contents of my room under its bulk. Oh, good to know. Love how Bulbapedia like helpfully lists just like one of the inevitable 1,000 corner cases that is going to come up in the process of implementing this. It's fine. Oh, thanks for the follow, Sto4KE. Stoic. Sorry if you didn't want your name to be read, but it's being read. It's happened. It's already happened. It's over now. We've pulled the band-aid off. It's all done. You don't need to be afraid. Okay, moving on. Can you fucking tell me what the status conditions are, please? Volatile status. Yeah, we have it right here. I've probably overlooked this in this table of contents literally 6 times this stream alone. We've been on this page. Stoic. Cool. Welcome. We're getting into some nonsense. We're programming Emacs Lisp today. We're making an AI to play Pokemon for us, which mostly consists of writing a simulator for Gen 3 Pokemon battles right now. Yeah, we're just chilling. We're chilling and grilling at the moment, and trying to figure out how all of these different status conditions that aren't really status conditions work. So welcome aboard, and we have a nice little time of it. All right, so this is going to list everything for us, maybe. Bound, that's a thing. This is another one that's totally busted in Gen 1, I think. Like, if you use bind in Gen 1, doesn't it just, like, prevent the opponent from moving for, like, ever or something? It's like some brutal thing like that. Confusion. So we definitely need to handle bind. Definitely need to handle can't escape. Confusion, that's a thing. Ability change, like skill swap exists in Gen 3, right? Forecast can be copied by trace. Why would they specifically point out forecast? That's making me hesitant. Because it says forecast can only be copied by trace, roleplay, skill swap, and transform. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's more ways than I thought you could copy abilities. So that means there are some other gems hidden in there that can copy abilities that we don't know about. That's fine. It's okay. We've been planning for that. We do have I think we have an ability. Like we wrote a bunch of like shitty helper functions last stream to like abstract over getting the active Pokemon's ability for precisely this reason, because we had the foresight to remember that skill swap exists. Also, thanks for the follow, Chaotic. Hope you stick around, my man and or woman. We're gonna be and oring today. All right. Hit the desk. Ability suppression. Does this exist in Gen 3? Probably not. Yeah, Gastro Acid. That's a Gen 4 move if I've ever seen one. That looks like some real Gen 4 bullshit. Yep. There we go. When you are on the autism spectrum and sit inside all day and do nothing, you get an inhuman intuition for where Pokemon moves come from. It's actually super useful. Employers are looking for it. It's extremely in demand. Slap that on your resume. That you know that you can look at Gastro Acid and know that it's from Gen 4. It's from a 2007 video game instead of like a 2002 or 3 or whatever the fuck the other. I don't even know. I'm just letters. Curse. Yeah, that's a thing. That's one of them. Oh, and we got Yawn too. Oh, that's another usage for our timer. Cool. But we'll have to make a different timer. But the same mechanism. Probably. No, different mechanism. Because it also is canceled on Switch. I think these will probably want, like, so for the status condition, we can get away with having just like a global, like, hey, we have status timer. It's a thing. It's shared between all status conditions, right? Like, cool. But like for these things, since you can have multiple of them on at once, right? You could be yawned and you can be confused and we're going to have probably these things are just going to, we have a list of effects. And that list is going to be an A list, which means that the elements of that list are pairs. And so the first element of the pair will be probably a string that denotes, okay, what effect is on us. The second element will either be just like true or nil, or I don't know, like the timer, like like affect specific data, whatever we need. So we'll be a little fancier with our effect handling. Okay. Ouch. I just fuck. I keep hitting my one of my fingernails is all fucked up. I smashed it with something and keep bonking it. It's not doing me any favors. All right, heal block. Another Gen 4 classic there. Flinch, something we actually do need to care about flinch because that's like exists across moves. Encore, yeah. These are all just a bunch of things. Yep. Maybe we actually want to have like a struct that represents these things, right? Because then we can have like we can have like timers handled in a consistent way. We can easily disambiguate whether something has like a timer, like, because if we just have like an A list, right? If the second field is a number, right? Like we don't know if that number means something else or is just a timer, or like, but if we have a little more structure to our data, we have some data structures, if you will. We can say things like, I don't know, like we just have a timer field and we know that the timer field is a timer, and we know that the timer decrements by 1 every turn, and we know that when it's 0 the effect goes away, and etc. So that sounds promising to me. I think that's what we'll do. There's a whole lot of these, right? There's more than I would like. Splinters. Why am I have this dog water keyboard with this integrated trackpad, and whenever I try and scroll, it picks it up as a mouse gesture. And I get fucked. I think it thinks I'm like, what gesture even zooms? Is that like a pinching motion? Yeah, it is. I want to turn that off. I probably could turn that off, but like I think there's like lib input stuff. I go to, do I have a etc. Here? Yeah, here's our system configuration in Nix. Do I have lib input? Yeah, we have touchpad. We've already disabled tapping in the touchpad. I wonder if there's probably other options. We don't want to disable all gestures. We just want to turn off the pinch of death. But that's how it be. That's how it do be sometimes. Right, what the fuck is the difference between a volatile effect and a volatile battle status? What is the distinction that's being made here? A volatile status is a status condition that is inflicted by a mover ability from another Pokemon and will wear off when a Pokemon is switched out of battle or when a battle is over. Many will also wear off after a number of turns have passed. Pokemon can be affected by multiple volatile status conditions at a time. It's not indicated by an icon. Those are all things that we know and understand. Apart from, I guess, the stipulation that it was inflicted by another Pokemon. Then we have volatile battle status. A volatile battle status is usually self-inflicted and will wear off when a Pokemon is taken out of battle or a battle is over. Many of these will also wear off after a number of turns pass. Since they aren't shown in battle as a status condition having an icon, a Pokemon can be affected with multiple volatile battle statuses, volatile conditions, and anonymous. I just don't know why this distinction is being made here. I mean, it's not in the game's code for sure. Like maybe new. I don't know. We don't know about newer games. We're not angry at Bulbapedia. We're just angry at ourselves, and we're angry at the English language. We're angry at concepts that are very loosely articulated. Where's our boy status 1? Where are you in Pokemon.h? Yeah, here we just got status 1 and status 2. So the only distinction we care about is the thing a status 1, in which case it is mutually exclusive with other status 1s and persists across switches, or is it a status 2, in which case you can have many of them and it does not persist across switches. I wonder how the timers are stored here. Maybe we should check. If we search for status 2, get all the status 2. Oh, there's just it's just a bigger value. Yeah. Oh shit. Even as I am claiming victory, the knife in the back from the Pokemon Emerald source code comes out and gets me, because we're looking at status 3 right now. Of course, these names we don't know if the developers like use these names. This is just the decompilation project calling them this. I mean, they are different variables given the different shifts here, right? These are at least in different regions. Where the fuck is status 3? What is going on? Our worldview is being shaken at the moment, shaken to the core. Status 3 is only exists as a macro. So maybe we were right. There's only 2 fields. I wonder what I'm very confused. But that's okay. It's okay to be confused, I guess. Question mark. I think it's fine. All right. And that was just immediately as I said there's no status 3. We scroll down and find the status 3 macros. But yeah, so we have some number of, wonder why there are 3. Oh, does confusion, I thought confusion was just like a fixed chance to wear off a return. I guess it's there's a timer. Maybe the chance increases or something. Flinch is 1 bit. That makes sense. Uproar is a timer. Unused, classic unused bit. Bide is a timer, short timer. Lock, confuse, or thrash or something. Sure. Multiple turns. Question mark. Wonder what that does. I wonder if the machinery for something like thrash, and something like the choice band, I wonder if that's the same machinery. That would be interesting. I wonder if there's just like a generic thing that like records your last move, and there's like some flag somewhere that just like locks you into that. Could even be here. Could be this multiple turns thing. We don't know though. We're not going to go on a tangent to find that, because by the time it's relevant for us, we're going to forget about it. Okay, wrapped. Just a timer, looks like. Infatuation. Yeah, that's some weird double battle shit. Then a bunch of 1-bit things for focus energy and all that stuff. Funny that transformed is a single bit. I wonder, that's really funny actually. I wonder if it's just like, oh, if the transformed bit is set when we're listing out the moves, list all the opponent's moves instead. Like, that's really cool. Wait, yeah. Can you transform into, like, so if you, well, it can't be just that because there's switching, right? Like, how does transform interact with switches? And if you transform into something and that thing switches out and then it transforms into you, what happens? That's kind of cool. It's a little funky. A little bit funky. Substitute, and substitute is just here. I assume, well, no, substitute HP is just based on your, well, no, because the substitute has current HP too, right? You can break down a substitute over multiple turns, so there has to be some state. I don't know. Well, either way, it's not super important right now. We'll find it eventually. But for now, we will, I think, I don't know. Go back to our other realm here. Write some code. Okay, so what are we calling these things? We're calling them effects. Let's actually change that to we'll you know what, we'll leave it effects. Well, maybe we'll call it volatile effects. That seems cool. Make sure we change. Because a battle has effects, right? We'll call this volatile effects. Give us. Wait. Battle buffer. And similarly, volatile effects is a list. Well, the next one too. Sure. Okay. And then we need to create something that abstracts what a volatile effect is. Where will that be? We'll do it somewhere here. Volatile effect. Volatile effect. It has a name. It has a timer that instead of 0, the timer is going to be nil default because some things don't have a timer. And we're going to, unlike status conditions where we only decrement the timer, like it's all special casey stuff, right? Because we're never going to, like, it's fine if the timer defaults to 0 for paralysis because we're never going to just automatically remove the status condition by checking the timer, right? We check that like if we're sleeping and we use the move, and like it's kind of more constrained. Whereas here, like we want we have so many of these that we want a timer that like we want to just be able to loop over them and see, okay, if anything has a positive number timer, decrement it by 1. If it's 0, remove it. Yeah. And I want some vocal effects that just let me like. Is it funny to just like say a word like 100 times, right? Like people like repeat words when they talk, like saying like, I don't know, like and and stuff like that. I just think it's very funny to say like, but then just say like repeat it a bunch, but then repeat it like way too many times. Like I just said it there again, but going extremely excessive with it, like between two words, suddenly saying like 300 times. I don't know. Musings. We'll do it eventually. It's all happening eventually. We just need the time. So what does this actually do? We'll have another function here. And probably this just looks the same thing as a move effect. Like I think that's fine. Like maybe that's too much information, but like it's probably okay. Just pass in like everything. I don't know. I'm not a pro, man. All right. We got some can opening ASMR. There we go. And some visual ASMR from my CPU load, making my model flicker, which is probably unnoticeable but annoys me to no end. Oi. Okay, let us keep moving onward. So we have this notion of volatile effects. Let's make sure the timers for those things decrement properly. So in our end of turn, before we do any of this other stuff, we will say, do we have a each? Yeah, baby. For each Smaragdus active Pokemon volatile effects of active 1, got some more anaphoric macros, so it's just is the current thing. And yet it still manages to be more verbose than doing a 4M or something in Haskell, but it's fine. It doesn't matter. We're Lispy gamers today. All right, so for every volatile effect, when let timer Smaragdus volatile effect timer it. So grab the timer. If the timer is non-nil, it's assigned to timer now. Then we say when CL decf well, we want to say well, we want to decrement it by 1 for sure. Maybe we don't even need the one let. Well, I guess we don't need the decaf either if we're doing it this way. Oh, foo. I thought we were gonna be clever. Cleverness thwarted, as it so often do be. That's okay though. We're not out to be smart. We're out to be fucking stupid. As stupid as possible every day. Okay. What is this? Decrement the thing by 1. If that is less than or equal to 0, also remove the thing from the lists. I don't know if you can. God, I hate mutations so much. I don't think you can like. I don't want to risk like. Well, we won't remove it. We're gonna do this the cool guy way. We will not fucking remove it. We are just decrementing. My brain does not work in the presence of mutable state. I'm finding it's just not used to this. We're just gonna filter it. Is there an in-place filter? Well, I know there's remove if. It's not what we want. Let's find all of the dash.el. Well, what do we have that's in place? Let's just reduce. Does just normal remove if do what we want? Is that not even a thing? It's a thing in Common Lisp, right? We don't have SBCL. We're in dangerous territory here, gentlemen. That's something has gone very odd. Let's remove if. Yeah, it is in Common Lisp. That looks right. Okay, so we're removing anything where effect timer I want to see if I say is equal nil 0, will this be false or fuck, it's a type error. So we actually have to check. We good. We good. We'll check the goddamn type. Yeah. Effect timer. If it has an effect timer, we're gonna assume we're gonna assume if it's non-nil. We won't be totally good. We'll assume if it's non-nil. We're not gonna check number p or whatever godforsaken thing. It's number p. It's not dumber dash p. Of course, that'd be too. This language has perfectly good question marks in. I should just go. I should just make like a helper library that just like consistency. What is a word for flattens? It makes consistent. Bunch of these things. I don't know. I'm rambling at this point. I'm off my fucking rocker. And it is less than or equal to. Well, maybe we just say when let. Yeah, here's the when let. Here we go. Big money. Big doings. Then less than or equal to timer 0. That's the right way. And we're calling this, does this actually work in place? No, it's a non-destructive operation. Destructive remove if. I don't know if we really need one, but like probably the way to do this in Common Lisp is like with like a loop. Oh, delete if. Yeah, it's delete, not remove. Does that exist? You bet. Yeah. This doesn't matter, right? Like, of course, like the good way to do this, the nice functional way that we've strayed so far from, would just be to make this. This is all stemming from our lack of like a lens library. Like we would do this totally functionally if we had a way to nicely non-destructively update like deeply nested fields. But since we don't, we are taking the dark path. We're on the left-hand path, and we are causing all sorts of mischief for ourselves. But that's okay. We have sort of an we've kind of an adversarial relationship with future LLLL Colonq. It's I don't know, some sort of godforsaken homestuck thing. We're in some sort of weird relationship with our future self. All right. CL delete if. Does that clap come across? Let me watch it. That's kind of in the red zone. Does that like fuck up the mic? I'll have to check that. But I like clapping. I'm a clapper. Clapping fan. We'll make a helper. Update volatile a and this is being called on this a update volatile. Active 1 to 2. Sure. I don't mind. It's gonna complain. Still don't know if this is kosher. We did a little bit of Googling at one point. I mean, it seems to work, right? Update volatile, like this function will work, and update volatile is not in my global scope, right? That's the only thing I care about. The thing is not in scope. It's hidden away. It's we can use it as a helper function. It's fine. It's all okay. Like it's not. This isn't. I guess this isn't like closing over anything. But I think I swear we had another example where like this was a closure. I don't know. Doesn't matter. This is all this stuff, all this defunning, and this Lisp 2 stuff where things have functions and variable bindings have different namespaces. It's all. Give me scheme, man. Just Make define just a macro, a very thin macro, like or just let me define things to lambdas. I don't know, man. It's fucked. It doesn't matter. Again, sidetracked. We have update volatile. So now we are decrementing all the timers. If any of the timers are less than or equal to 0, remove those elements. This only happens if the timers are non-nil in the first place. Sure. What we also want to do, after all that jazz, I think even before we update the timer, we want to apply the effect. Well, let's give it a better name. If we go to make volatile effect, well, it's sort of gross to have this here. I don't really like it because this effect function, like for moves will never change, right? Moves are just nice, pure data. We're defining a bunch of moves, and they're like sort of that is the move. Like nothing is ever changing with the move. But these things, this is a more mutable thing, right? And we're gonna have a bunch of like we only have one copy of each move, right? Every move is just like every Pokemon that has flamethrower just has a reference to the single flamethrower move. Versus this, like we have different, like every instance of an effect is getting a new one of these, right? And then we have to look up the. So I think it's gonna be mostly this. We're gonna dispatch off the name. We're gonna just do the thing with cond or whatever. That seems okay. All right. Where to now? Where are we going? What we doing? That's a volatile effect. So we're just gonna branch off of the name. And I guess just like do whatever. Based on that. So like what's an example of like, I guess confusion. Confusion is gonna be the most common one. And then like we could do something like ingrain maybe. Let's do confusion. Oi. My old bones. My old digital bones. Wearing out on me, man. That's how it goes. What's the thing that... There's a YouTube channel I used to watch very long time ago. A Dota trolling channel called Chai Long Kwa. And just a dude with a voice changer, like to make his voice super deep. And it was just I don't know, doing standard shitposty griefy stuff. But he used to say something, what was it? There's basically not very much you can do about that. And that's what I think in my head whenever I get in some of these situations. I'm just like, yeah, there's basically not very much you can do about that. You're feeling just tired, sort of deep fatigue in your bones that sleep will not fix. There's basically not very much you can do about that, guys. This is gonna be an L. An L Colonq. An L colon Q. She L in my colon until I Q. What are we looking for? Looking for end of turn again. Well, no. We're doing confusion. Confusion. Contusion. Where will that be? Well, let's find our by status. Well, we need to make some helpers first. Where's our active Pokemon helpers? Somewhere up here? Yeah. We'll say Ragus active Pokemon let's actually move that all that little helper function up here. Update volatile. Let's grab that out of here. Plop it down here. Yeah, that's a little nicer because this is just specific. Like, there's nothing happening here other than. Let's call this update volatile effect timers. We'll have a very long. We're going full on Java names here, gentlemen and ladies. And decrement and all volatile effect timers for active moving zeros. Right? Yeah. And then we'll just replace. I'm not typing this name, bro. I'm yeah. Yep. Okay. We're doing that. We have something. Doing some business. Okay, what else? What else? We've updated the volatile effect timers. We want an end of turn kind of thing. Active Pokemon apply volatile effect end of turn. Active. We'll just run this on all of them before we decrement the timers. Apply all end of turn effects from end of turn volatile effects for active. We'll leave that stubbed out for now. And then what's our last thing? We want to say active Pokemon has volatile effect name. Because we're going to have a lot of circumstances where, like, we want to say, okay, are we confused, right? And that might be the only. Well, no, there's others, right? We're gonna want to say, are we confused? If we're getting forced out with roar, we're gonna say, are we ingrained? Things like this. Yes. Yes. 45 additional yeses. Ugh. We want to say active too. Does active have a volatile effect named aim? Question mark? That's easy. Is this a thing? That's a thing. Could just do contains p with a custom predicate. I want to kind of see any. Yeah, any is what we want. Any. What do we say? Oh baby, we're cooking. Equals volatile effect name hit name. Are there any volatile effects where the name is equal to the name we passed in? Will this actually return? Yeah, well, we only, it's just a predicate, it's fine. You don't care about the specific thing. Well, we kind of do, right? So this turns T, else no. Whatever. We'll change this to use filter and head if we really need to. Get our head on. Smaragdus. What am I talking about? This is Lisp. We can't call it head. It's called car. My other car is a cooter. Active Pokemon volatile effects. Active. That at least does what we want. This thing, for now, each. Why is your indentation like this? Why are you like this? Oh, because Emacs is actually smart. Emacs is a clever boy. There we go. Let's just have it ingrained for now. So cond. We're gonna be cool and get the name here so we don't have to type it 1,000 times. S equals name ingrain. If that is true, then we want to heal a little bit. We probably have logic for that in the burn and poison code, right? Yeah, we built this apply percentage damage thing. We have our apply. Yeah, this is not really an active Pokemon specific function, right? This is more of a general state thing. So we're gonna change the name of this thing and move it. Go down to someplace that seems reasonable. End of turn, maybe. Yeah, it really is, and we're just making guesses, right? I'm actually sure it's probably not so bad if I don't know. We've only taken the barest glimpse when we've really needed to under the hood at the actual like decompilation. And I'm sure there's all kinds of, like, I mean, like all old games, right? There's all sorts of clever tricks, right? And if you're not using the exact clever tricks that they're using, it probably is. But I don't know. It's also just big, right? I think we checked last time. Like if we look at this, this is the decompilation of Pokemon Emerald. If I say Tokay source include, which is just like the actual decompilation of the game, none of the tools or anything like that. Oh, foo. Another, you can use a NixOS victory here, I think. That do the thing. I have to install first. Let's see how bad the damage is on our CPU. Oof, we got 4 100s. Very good. This is on. I need to get a better machine. Is this actually running? Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's just chugging along. Looks like it is. Yeah, it finished. Yeah, so here's our listing of like lines of code for this thing, which is a terrible metric, but like, yeah, it's like, it's big. These old games are, it's a Game Boy Advance game, right? It's like fucking 500,000 lines of C, which is nuts, right? Like that's a lot, right? Kind of crazy. Some of this might be, again, this is a decompilation that was derived from the ROM, right? So not the original C, but like, what I've seen, most of it is like relatively clean. It's not like giant ugly decompilation stuff. So like, question mark, like that's a lot. It's certainly bigger than like, and the battle system is like large and intertwined with all kinds of rendering code and stuff. So like, we can't really just like pull it out, but like, sure, it's also big. So like, we'll get away with making something that's probably smaller than the game itself. I wonder how big Showdown Simulator is. I think I checked a few days ago because I was curious, but I didn't, like, I was just like scrolling around on GitHub. Oh, you know what we didn't do? Before I forget, I just remembered. When I was fucking around and saying I don't know math, we didn't actually multiply this. So you really especially don't know math. Need to multiply this by the, I guess, active Pokemon status or toxic timer. That would have been a fun little thing. Fun little bug, because I would be like, I swore I did it. I swear to you I did it. But sometimes you don't. Sometimes you do not. Well, this needs to be +1. Yeah. Yep, I think. We'll replace that and make sure we change this to active 1. Sure. Okay. Bravely 4th. And then we need to remember what we were doing before, which was the volatile effects stuff. Apply volatile effects end of turn. Yeah. So here we're just, what does ingrain do? Ugh. Whenever I have to use the mouse, it's just like painful. No, it's not loading here. Horror of horrors. What do we heal by? 1/16. Yep. Sure. Sure. What are you telling me? What the fuck? Yeah. That's what you're telling me. This is just that. And that, and that, and that. This is negative. So ingrain at the end of the turn heals for a little bit. We're gonna do that. What is the precedence in which this occurs, right? When we have damage and healing, it matters which one happens first, because the damage could kill. Oi. Well, we're gonna check. You better believe we're checking. And turn ingrain. Well, this doesn't help very much because this is just this big loop. Turn effects tracker. Oh wait, I guess this probably just increments. Over a bunch of, yeah. I think this is just a sequence of things, and the loop is just, the loop and the switch are just to like make it nice. I wonder what the assembly looked like to make this the way it works. I don't know. That's fine. So ingrain happens, then abilities, then items, then more items, then leech seed, then poison, then bad poison, then burn, nightmares. Okay, so the problem here is that we can't actually do it the way that we thought we would, right? We would think that we could just loop over all of the volatile effects and be like, yo, we'll handle all these at once. It's fine. It's okay. We're not going to have a problem. The issue is that is not at all the case, because things happen in different orders. Well, doesn't matter though. The only reason it would matter is if there is a possibility, like, because we don't really care if like about the ordering of different damaging effects. Like if you have wrap on and also poison, it doesn't really matter if the wrap kills you or the poison kills you, right? Like if they're both applied, you're dead, right? It's okay if they happen out of order. The problem is specifically healing effects and damaging effects happening out of order. Are there any? If we know leech seed, where the fuck are we? We know leech seed, ingrain happens here, then abilities. I don't know if there are abilities that can damage you. I don't think there are in Gen 3. Items, I don't think there are items that can damage you. Gen 3, and then leech seed happens, okay. And then poison. So now the thing has damaged you, right? So I think we can still handle the volatile effects before this and be okay, as long as there are no other healing effects from volatile effects that occur after this point. We have poison, we have burn, we have nightmares, again, still damaging effects. Curse, wrap, uproar, thrash, disable, encore, lock on. These are just decrements, right? Taunt, yawn. Okay, so yeah, I think we're still good. We might be slightly off in the precedence. And oh yeah, all this stuff is so fucked up, man. Because the issue is if multiple people have effects, right? Like who loses, who wins. But I think these are all things that like this is like extreme minutia. That if we dig into this too much now, it's just going to totally derail things and be miserable. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna leave it there. We're gonna bury a little landmine for ourselves, and then we're gonna do it the simple way. We'll leave this little explosive, and when it comes to bite us in the ass, inevitably, when it matters, when we lose a battle because we make an inaccurate prediction based on poison precedents or some ridiculous thing like that, we will know. And if that even ever happens, and if it does, it'll be an exciting moment for the stream. We'll be like, oh shit, we called that months ago, and it finally happened, and now we have to rewrite a bunch of stuff. How fun, how exciting, what a pleasant time, because we didn't exactly copy the structure of this end turn effect jump table from the Pokemon Emerald source code. What a pleasant day. But whatever, there's not very much you can do about that. Yeah. All right, what are we're doing the timers. Before we do the timers, we would like to apply volatile effects end of turn. Yep. We're doing that on ST to active 1, and also to active 2. Sure. I like it. Cool. We still have water? Yes, we do. We're staying hydrated. All right. So what next? What is left to do? What is to be done? Well, we have our ingrain example. We also wanted confusion. Yes. We care about confusion here. Do we have how do we not have this? Well, easy enough. Confusion. We were here before. For a random one to, oh, so it's like sleep. It is like sleep. It is not like freeze. Because freeze is indefinite and you just have a chance every turn to be unfrozen, whereas confusion, it is just a random 1 to 4 turns. Specifically, turns spent recharging and turns in which the Pokemon is unable to attack will not lower the remaining number of turns of confusion. That is useful to know. That is useful fucking information. Very good. So we need to do the check to decrement the thing inside of the can act block. But we're going to have to split that off, because right now we're checking if we can act and we rolled a hit and we rolled they're not immune. But this goes kind of between the can act check and the hit check. So gotta refactor a little bit, just a little bit. Pokemon may hurt themselves in confusion during either turn of multi-turn moves such as fly and dive. Well, that's a clusterfuck. When a Pokemon is unable to attack for other reasons, such as from being asleep or fully paralyzed, it will not hurt itself in confusion. Like all other volatile status conditions, confusion wears off when the confused Pokemon is taken out of battle or battle is over. Cool. Yeah, confusion deals physical. It's a physical attack, so we can use our handy dandy damage calculation infrastructure. Sounds so fancy when you say infrastructure. What do you do for a living? Yeah, I build infrastructure. I wrote a function. I'm doing infrastructural work. It's okay. It's all good. Oh, you know, a table telling us how the damage is calculated. Oh boy. So we need to ignore our own reflect. It does have the random factor. It is halved by burn. Man, that's a fucked up interaction, isn't that? Wow. Holy fuck. That is nuts. I learned this is another again another weird Pokemon thing, right? Didn't know this, right? The power value of explosion and self-destruct is already like really high, right? Like explosion's like 250 power. What's going on with that, right? That's huge. But it also halves their defense. Just it doesn't say that anywhere. It just does that. And I guess if you select when you're confused, you really don't want to press the explosion button. That is also going to have your own defense when you hit yourself in confusion, which is only in Gen 2 and 3, and that is like an insane interaction. Yeah, they did remove all the soul in Gen 5. Like nothing. Jeez. Well, Gen 5 also had the Gen 5 had the soul for they didn't yet remove infinite weather. You can still cling to something. Some kind of janky ass thing that I guess that's not really janky, it's just a normal gameplay. I think I'm sticking to Gen 1, 2, and 3 for now. That's the classics. Sips Monster Ultra or whatever the fucking thing is. I don't know, man. I'm not a Oh, power boosted by Silk Scarf? What the fuck? Oh, is it it's normal type then? Well, Silk Scarf boosts normal type moves. Maybe it's not a typeless move in Gen 3. This is just like the general shenanigans. Is this a normal type move? What is going on? Oh god. We're gonna check the source code for this one when we, well, maybe that's soon. But no helping hand. That's also weird, but we don't care, thankfully, because we're limiting ourselves to single battles for now. Rivalry, well, that doesn't matter. It doesn't exist. What the fuck? Badge effects. Badge effects boost damage? What the fuck? Stat boost? What? Some badges? What is this, man? This is nuts. So when you get the Mind badge, you get plus 10% special attack and special defense? That is insane. Man, that rocks, though. I love that. But we don't have to care. Well, we do have to care, is the thing. It doesn't matter for, like, showdown or whatever, but that matters for stats if we're, like, just playing the single-player game. Holy fuck. How deep does the rabbit hole go? Attack boosted by... Oh boy, you do not want to be confused if you're a... Well, I guess that's just the same as a normal stat boost, but like, that's funny. That is... Yeah, Gen 5, what a... We need an elegy for how exciting it is to be confused. I'm confused every day. It has gotten less exciting. When I was young, it was fun to be confused, and these days it's just mostly sad. Leads to a lot of distress. But yeah. Okay, so let's just look at this. I think we've wished quite a few times now that Smogon just had a site that, like, cataloged the miscellaneous generation-specific bullshit we have to deal with. I don't think it does though. We went looking, I think. Wait, oh, technician applies. What? Technician only applies if it's a disobedient? Like if you don't have enough badges for the... Oh, what the fuck? That's nuts. That is bongo bonkers, man. Who made this? Well, we don't know who. We could probably look up who made it then, but we know that we're making it now, and we know it's a divine punishment. We can be sure of that at this point. We're being tormented by some cosmic force by being compelled to do this. Sure. Well, let's go forth. Let's make sure everything is evaluated because we usually fuck ourselves somehow. Okay, let's look at our compute damage function and just make sure that if we give it a type that doesn't exist, let's hope it gives us normally effective damage, right? So we check weak to move, which we're checking if the move type exists in the effectiveness. Oh, so this, oh no, never mind. We looking up move type in this A list will give us all of the types that are weak to move type. This will be all the types that are strong against move type. So if we look up an invalid type, these will both be empty lists. And then we're just going to check membership in those, right? Which will always be false. So then this will always be, yeah. So we can just say like typeless. We'll just pass in the type typeless to these, and that will do. Is that going to fuck us up anywhere else? I'm not sure. I sort of suspect. Oh, I hope it won't. Well, we can try, right? Like that's the beauty of Lisp, I guess. Damage. Okay, ST is ST. Us is battle team 1. Them is battle team 2. The move is, we need to make a move. Make move. What does that take? It takes a number. Number is 0. Name is foo. Type is, oh, they're all keyword arguments because we hate ourselves. Name. I just like habitually use the royal we now on these, which is I don't know. This is an adventure together with chat. You're in this boat with me. You're trapped here until we can figure out what the fuck to do, and soon we're gonna be drawing straws to see who has to eat the other person. Type is typeless. That's the thing we actually care about. Priority is, that should default to 0. Max PP is nothing, it doesn't matter. Power is 40. Accuracy is 100. Well, also has good defaults. And maybe that does the thing that we want. That's a move. It's not a critical hit. The random factor is, what is the, when we call compute damage? Yeah, we actually give it an integer between 0 and 100. It's 92. Okay, that actually computes something. Even if we give it a typeless move. Like, I think this thing is like a steel type or something, so if we give it a fire move, yeah, it deals more damage. So that works. So we can just say it's a typeless move. What does compute damage actually take into account? It takes into account types, which we're ignoring because we're saying typeless. It checks if it's physical and uses attack or special attack, which again we need to actually do. Stab won't matter because it's typeless. The random factor, and it takes into account if we're burned. And also we have all these checks in here for other things, right? Like reflect or light screen and weather, and these won't matter. The reflect light screen one will matter, I think, right? Because it explicitly is not, the defense is not doubled by this. So maybe we'll need to handle that a little bit. All the rest of this shit doesn't matter. Yeah, so maybe again, we won't care for now. And when we do care and we end up implementing reflector light screen, we will do it wrong at first, and then we'll have some edge case that doesn't work, and that'll be okay. There's gonna be a lot of edge cases that don't work, right? Like when we run this thing, like it's very quickly going to, I think the rollouts will very quickly diverge from like, but everything is like so stochastic anyway that like, I don't know, like if we get close enough with this simulator that like it's fine. Question mark. Maybe it all works out for us. Like maybe we survive. I think that'd be nice. I don't know. We will see. All we can do is wait and see. Okay. What's up next? I think one thing to do, well, we're implementing confusion damage. That's the thing to do. That is the one thing to do. And we're adding it to resolve move. We need to split this thing up, like we mentioned. When can act. So, oh, confusion is not a good example. The reason that confusion is not a good example is like we have this timer system for our volatile effects that will be useful for many volatile effects, like for example taunt, right? Taunt is going down one turn every turn, unless like no matter what, I think. At least I hope so. Please God, I hope so. Confusion, as we just read, is only decrementing if you actually like successfully manage to attempt a move. So we can still increment confusion, right? We'll have to attach some like additional data to it, which will also be fine. But the issue is like we can't just use our nifty timer system that we just implemented. So maybe let's do something about that. We need to make volatile effects. We need some data on make volatile effect, and that data will usually be nil. We usually won't care about it, but we will care about it in some specific instances. This is per effect data, right? Its meaning is dependent on what name. So, does my tracking still work if I lean way back? Way back, going way back, dude. Wonder how that sounds. I wonder, but we have some data. For confusion, this data is going to be the random roll for how many turns are remaining in the confusion. Timer is going to be nil for confusion because confusion's timer is not a real timer. It is a how many times have you attempted to use a move under confusion timer? Yes. So confusion is, if we go to resolve move, Let's see. Well, we can just say confused. Oh, and you know what? We do need to get that has a volatile effect. We need this to actually return the effect, right? So we need this. We need to be a filter. This will give us the first one that has the name. Oh, and filter just works. Well, we'll say car. Always, when I say car nil, will give me nil or yeah, as it should, as it should. All right. What next? What next? So this will tell us if we have that volatile effect and return it if we do have it. Solve move. Yeah. So here we want to say effect confused is Spragdus active Pokemon has volatile effect. Our active confused. And then confused is and effect confused greater than Smaragdus volatile effect data effect confuse 0. And then, okay. Then if we are confused, then we'll do some stuff. Otherwise, we'll do the rest of the stuff. Yeah. So if we are confused, we will, well, one, we're going to decrement the confusion timer. This means like we're actually like hitting ourselves in confusion. Right? We're decrementing the confusion timer, so we're saying I guess volatile effect data effect confused. Yes. We need to become unconfused if this is equal to 0. Well, maybe we're supposed to do this first, and how bothersome. How bothersome. Man, I'm talking like I'm a steampunk. We're talking steampunk mode, guys. We're saying stuff like bothersome. I'm adjusting my monocle thing. I don't know. Tally ho. Holy fuck. Holy cannoli. Sometimes that's how it is. Sometimes that's how you have to speak. Don't make the rules. Yeah, so we're decrementing this, and I think in the game it's probably represented differently, because in the game you have the thing like, oh, you snap out of confusion and you act. That's a big surprise, right? Like here I think we probably want like it just goes to 0 after the last time you're blocked off and then goes away, and then the next turn you're fine, right? Which like difference there would be that if we were using the state to like so the difference is the presence of hidden information. In the sense that in one instance you don't know if you're still confused before you use a move, where in the other is like I don't know, it's weird, right? Like, but I think it won't matter because it's just fine. Like, we don't really have a good framework for the presence of hidden information at the moment, right? Like, confusion can confuse for anywhere between 2 and 5 turns, right? So the current state of the game, well, I guess it's fine, right? Because what we're going to do is we're going to read the state of the game from the game, right? And we're not going to cheat, I think, and read exactly how many turns we are still confused for, right? Because then we can't really use that on like Showdown or something, right? Like that's sort of gross. But we can just we will know that we're confused for some number of turns. And we'll know that we're confused for some number of turns that has a bound based on how long we've already been confused. So we can like keep track of some of that client side, and then we can like the current state will just be like actually 3 possible states or something, right? Like that we could be confused for 1, 2, or 3 turns, and we simulate from that. It's kind of gross, right? That's how you defeat the AI, right? You just confuse it and make it think 3 times as hard for something that's probably not 3 times as complex. Well, that's believable, I guess. Why am I I'm going full flicker mode here. I'm blinking. We're in Blinker City. Well, it's probably fine. So we're gonna decrement confusion. We should add an explicit remove effect. Has volatile effect. We should add a remove volatile effect. We're gonna copy. Remove volatile effect. Remove the volatile effect name, just name from active. And that is just going to be a is what you are called. We got no delete. Well, we have CL delete. Is there a normal delete? It's gonna be a whole lot of buffer operations. So CL delete. Remove all occurrences of item in seek. We actually want to say delete if. S equals Smaragdus volatile effect name no, it name. Just delete everything that matches where the name matches the name we're passing in. All right. Sure. What next? What is next? I wonder. We do be wondering. Where do we go? What do we do? How do we proceed? Proceed. We're going back down to where we're checking that. We're adding here. When less than equal to that 0. Smaragdus. Active Pokemon remove volatile effect. Our active confused. Hooray. Well, if we have the when, hey, don't need the prog n. But we have things outside of the when, so it doesn't matter. What do we also want to do? We also want to hit ourselves. So we want to do a thing. That thing is like our battling confusion image. Our HP. Are we getting our HP up here? Our HP. Our battling. Yeah, woo. We want to compute the confusion damage. We'll just do that regardless and hope that eLisp is smart. It probably isn't, but well, it probably is actually, because inevitably when we actually run this thing, when we want it to be fast, we're going to be using the Emacs native compilation feature, which I think just turns it all into, like, I think it uses GCC, and I trust GCC to be smart. So we're gonna assume that GCC is a smart fella. Confusion damage. That's what we want. Man, I'm going all over the place. I think it's may have overestimated my abilities to do this for like much more than 3 hours. I'm going non-stop here, no breaks. There was a time in my youthful days when I could hack all night, but I think also hacking and talking is probably harder than just programming. But whatever, we'll make a best effort. Having a lot of fun. I hope y'all are too. If you're not, okay. Why are you here? But I hope you are. Confusion damage. That is just compute damage. Smaragdus compute damage even. ST. Our us. Yeah, us. And then us again. I sure hope there's no invariant that those are different. I don't think there is. I don't think I was God, I hate immutable state so much. What nonsense. We are when I was deciding what language to use on these streams, I was like, yeah, we'll use a bunch of stuff, right? Like we need to write Lua for the emulator integration, so we'll write some Fennel. And I would love to write Emacs Lisp, because Emacs Lisp has lots of nice features. Like I can easily like load things into the repo right from Emacs, right? I guess I could do that with Common Lisp too, but Common Lisp is kind of mid. I can see there's like good integration for things, and I could, like, my long-term goals, I would love to have like a stream extension, so you can like mouse over. I would love it so you can. I would love to make it so you can mouse over text on the stream and see like a type signature and documentation for a function, right? So like I'm moving my mouse around here, but I would love to be able to like mouse around compute damage and see something like this, right? This pop-up here where it's like, hey, here's what the thing does, here are what the argument names, right? Like maybe even the source code for that function, right? That'd be really neat. And I'm gonna build that eventually. And it would certainly be easiest with Emacs Lisp, because Emacs Lisp is like I think it's like the most I don't know, I could build something like that for Haskell on top of LSP or something. But like I'm not confident in I write a fuck ton of Haskell. Like an absolute absurd amount of Haskell. And I'm still like, I don't have like an LSP configuration that I'm confident won't crash every 30 minutes. I'm like doing stuff with it and won't desync all the time and be generally a fucking nuisance. Whereas Emacs Lisp, I mean, sure, it's slow and sure, it's a text editor extension language, but like, I mean, it never breaks, right? I always get a nice little thing in my mode line at the bottom of the screen that tells me like what the arguments are, and I can get docs really easily, and it's really well integrated. It's so nice, it's so cute. So I don't know. Despite my woes, we are. I think this might be the best option, but in the future, we will definitely have, I think, some Haskell streams, because if I can get because like it's not like I have that like fancy infrastructure anyway now. So maybe we'll build that out, and then we'll see how it looks. Maybe it'd be nice to do something that was like language agnostic kind of, and oh, you know what would actually be really nice is we'll build that system on top of Emacs. So it uses like, because Emacs, like there's like a general system for like the errors and things, right? Where I just type this, right? It won't break because I have unbalanced parentheses or something. But like, if I type this or this, right? Like these like pop-ups, like these are all built on either flycheck or flymake, which are like Emacs error display, error handling things. And I already have like custom code for all this shit to like make it look like this. I'm relatively well versed in how it all lines up. So we can easily build something on top of like LDoc, which is the thing that shows the signature at the bottom, and this, which shows the error, and just do it at that level, and then just make sure all of like our whatever language we're using, the LSP stuff, like lines up with that. Well, the issue then is like, well, the like checking the docs with LDoc or something, like it sort of happens when I move my cursor around, like kind of on demand. It's kind of a pull. Whereas we need it to be a push if we're doing it with Twitch, right? We need it to just be like, I don't want random Twitch chatters mousing over things to actually cause commands to run on my machine. I don't want to like gather all of the docs for everything that's on the screen at once and then collect them and then like host them at like an HTTP endpoint or something that the extension accesses. So I don't know. A nice little diversion, and we'll do it eventually. I want this to be the most I want this to be the fanciest fucking programming live coding live stream that has ever existed. That is the goal. And we have the technology, we have the capabilities, we have the motivation, we have I think everything we need. I've already built a bunch of stuff that uses the Twitch API, none of which is integrated with this, but I've like written stuff that like can watch live notifications over WebSockets, and like we can do it. It is in our wheelhouse, chat. We can make it happen. I think we're going to. Before this is done, before we decide to do something better with our time, I think we will have the coolest live coding setup possible. I want people to come in here and be like, holy fuck, look at that. You can mouse over the thing and the other thing pops up, and it's like how like I don't know, like I know like Dota 2, right? Like Dota 2, if you look at like a Dota 2 stream on Twitch, it's like insane integration. You can like mouse over people's items and see what the items do, and like holy moly, like what's going on with that? That is space age technology. That is interactive visual media. We're going to crazy places, and that is what this programming stream will be. I swear to you. I swear it on, I don't know. I swear on Haskell, bro. It's I swear on the concept of type systems. That's where we're headed. So you can go to the bank with that. But Anyway, rant over. Back to calculating confusion damage through whatever fucking dog shit formulae that we need to use here. Complaining about aliasing, reference aliasing. Us them. The move is our special move. It's the secret move. Smaragdus. Make move. Number 0. Confusion. Or calling it confusion damage. And we need to space this out because... Oh yes. Sure. We don't even need a number. I don't care. We will give it a name because I can anticipate us printing this out somewhere and like, I don't know, something needs to happen. What if we just give it a name and a type is typeless and power is 40. Oh, you know what the issue is here? Typeless, well, we need to make sure we default to physical damage, or we just need to throw typeless into the physical damage list. But it's okay. It's all good. Compute damage. Called with 4 arguments, requires 6. Requires is critical. It's not a critical. Still needs a random roll for damage. And we're going to use the same random roll that... Well, let's do another one. Yoink. Bam. Yep. Okay. Okay, 26 times. Is it okay? Is this going well? Blink twice if you're being kidnapped. Make it a nice round 30 okays, but that's ugh. Jeez, 30's so divisible. Welcome Digby Cat. How was your, I think I saw you streaming earlier. How was your stream? Fun time? Alright, so there's our confusion damage. And all we're doing is dealing confusion damage to us. Then, we must remember, not half bad. I was expecting, oh, you were playing the one with the, like, the voxels. Yeah, I think I clicked it briefly. I've seen a bunch of people play that game, but I haven't, like... Teardown, yeah, that seems cool. I think a friend of mine was playing that recently, and, like, it's like the one, like, it was like, yeah, like heisty stuff, like conditions. Like I remember one mission where it was like an object couldn't touch the rain or something, so you had to like do some weird thing with like trucks, and like that seems fun. That's a fun little sandboxy thing. Cool. I'd love to. I need to get a new computer set up for this because I'm the machine I'm on like full CPU load, just like running my my tracking and rendering and whatever else I need, like OBS. So even like launching like the GBA emulator for this is like pretty iffy. So I want to do stuff like, I don't know, I'm a Dark Souls fiend and stuff like that. So we'll certainly be doing some Dark Souls modding in the future, and like that's not happening on this machine. So we'll maybe we'll also do some teardown once we have better gamer cred, once our gamer score is maximized. Yeah, the thing we need to do here is we need to update fainted because we can faint from this, and if we don't, everything is gonna be terrible. Why are we doing that? Yeah. That's right, I think. So we can hurt ourselves in confusion now. Excellent. Love it. Love that. I'm trying to be more inventive with my ums because I catch myself doing it and I'm just like, well, let's just make that the craziest fucking thing anyone's ever heard. Let's just sing a little song. I think my main vocal tics are I say I'm an ummer. I say I'm an a lot, and I say right. Especially when I'm explaining things, I say right constantly, which I think is actually not super bad, but it's fine. Just have to like, I don't know. What are you even making? I see references to Pokemon battling. Pokemon, yeah. So this is the grand project. We have a couple of projects going on, but this project is we've done a bunch of reverse engineering on like a decompilation of Pokemon Emerald, so that we can get like data from the game into Emacs. And then what we're building here is an AI that wins Pokemon battles. So at least it wins Generation 3 Pokemon battles, and we're building that like we're doing a bunch of stuff, but basically the main component of the AI is a simulator that like can actually like predict how battles will proceed based on moves that people take. So we basically need to implement all of the logic of like Gen 3 Pokemon battles, which is what we've been up to. We have most of it here, like so we can do like moves with powers and type effectivenesses and stat boosts and all the status conditions and stuff, but we've slowly been implementing like the weird stuff like confusion and like ingrain, and we'll eventually get to like bind and bide and all that jazz. So but yeah, it's a simulator for Pokemon that will let us predict the future. Oh, welcome, Wild Ivan. Good to see you here. I can go into the avatar details a little bit. Let's see. Let's do the trick. So if this is actually a custom program that renders the 3D model for my avatar. Wrote it in Rust with OpenGL. And it uses like I think a common program for doing like any 3D avatar is VCFace. And VCFace is based off an open source library called OpenCFace. It's basically just like just face tracking stuff with a webcam. So I use that to get the face tracking. And then what it does is it renders the thing at really low resolution and then just prints it to a terminal. So this is actual like real text. Like I can copy and paste this if I want to. Like it won't, it's printing so fast that I can't really do it easily, but like it's actual text. And let me actually, if you're amenable to a little digression, let me disappear for a second. And let's pop open something else. No, we don't want to restart that. Where are we going? Yeah, so it's a little terminal. And I'm gonna actually, well, right now the text that goes behind the avatar is the entire chug jug with you copy pasta. So let's make it say something else. Hello, Wild Ivan. So if we recompile this, which might take a minute because this is a very old laptop, we will perhaps get something that looks kind of funny. I wonder if you can't actually hear it on my mic, but my this thing is chugging. It's going. We're gonna upgrade eventually. It's I promise. We need more CPU power. This is actually atrocious. Please finish. So you'll see at first my actual model rendering. It'll pop up in like 1, 2, 3. Yeah. There we go. Maybe. Finish, please, Rust compiler. Come on. There we go. Yeah, so here's the actual model, right? It's just like a VROID model. Like it's, and you can see in the bottom left corner, that's the model rendering to a much lower resolution texture, right? So it's like a full 3D model. I can move my head. I'm opening my mouth, blinking, etc. And then over here, right? Here's the thing actually just printing to a terminal, and whatever backing text that we want. And it's just that low resolution model where we just grab the colors from it and then print a couple characters for each. Yeah, and it says hello to you. Cool. Yeah, and good luck with your boot camp. That stuff is it's fun. I was a long time ago. I was a self-taught programmer myself, and you can go a very long way. And to the point that I think college is mostly a thing for getting a piece of paper that tells people to employ you versus a place to learn anything. You can learn everything on yourself, all on your lonesome online. I'm not going to switch back because it's going to take a really long time, and so you are getting free. I don't know. You're going to be my background for the rest of the night. Am I working in tech? Yeah, I am a. I don't know how much I want to say about what I do, but I program all day for a living. Yeah, for quite a while now. I guess not quite a while. I'm like in my mid-20s, but like a little while. Just like IRL. Hey, yeah. I mean, yeah, it do be like that, man, or woman. It do be like that. That's how it is. Yeah. Easy peasy. Sometimes it's good to be just chilling in the background a little bit. That's not the worst thing to be. Alrighty. Where are we going? This is confusion damage. We think we have confusion damage. I'm not going to test it because that's more exciting. We'll let it explode when the time comes to test it. So what are we working on here? So this is a I was just mentioning to Digby. This is an AI to play Pokemon Emerald. So on one hand, do we have anything? We've built, like over here we have kind of a disassembly of the Pokemon Emerald source code, or of the Pokemon Emerald ROM. It's a disassembly and decompilation. So if we go, there's this cool project on GitHub, Pret. Let's see. We'll load them up. So this is, I think, a team of people. They have a Discord server, and they upload either disassembled or decompiled, right? Decompilation, disassembly is like relatively easy because it like maps kind of nicely to the ROM, right? The ROM is just like the machine code. Decompilation is harder because you have to like think about, you get a bunch of C code and then you have to like kind of manually fiddle with it and like infer what variables are called and stuff. And like, but for a bunch of Pokemon games, including Emerald, they have a decompilation. So you can look at relatively nice C source code and see exactly how Pokemon Emerald does things. So we've done a bit of that, and we've written some scripts that run on an emulator that like read memory addresses to like get information out of the game and can like also press buttons. So we're using that to get a bunch of information out the current state of the game, and then we're trying to write AI that can just beat the game for us. So like some stuff in that is like not too fancy. Like eventually we'll just do like a bunch of pathfinding to like walk around. But I think in my mind the interesting part is winning battles. Of course we could do like a simple battle AI that like just like, I don't know, makes one Pokemon really strong and just like spams a strong move. But I'm sort of like curious about like how do we make an actually good Pokemon AI that like can win and can maybe even beat other people or beat me at least. And that's what we're doing. So we're using Emacs Lisp, which is like a little programming language inside Emacs, to write this AI. And we've been writing mostly a simulator that simulates battles. Hello, 0xRAR. Welcome. It's awesome to see you here. I infer from your name that you are a programmer type, a programmy person. So welcome. Good to see you. I'm doing well. Having a nice little evening of tip tapping away on the keyboard. Yeah, Emacs a while live in Emacs. It's security programming person. Yeah, well, that's the kind of person to be. Yeah, put together for a current gen. Yeah, that's I would love to do that. I think there are a few existing Pokemon bots that you can run on Pokemon Showdown at least, but like it'd be really cool to do something like in the actual game. I think there are there are working Switch emulators. I don't know how, like, I guess I'm unsure of the, like, I know Nintendo is somewhat litigious with respect to their IPs. I assume that no one gives a fuck about me tinkering around with a 20-year-old game that has no anti-cheat or copy protection that you can't even buy anymore. But I assume they might be more litigious if I was like streaming at myself, reverse engineering the current game on an emulator. So I'm somewhat nervous about that. But we definitely might make a Showdown bot, and we're definitely gonna do some stuff for other like relatively recent games. Yeah, they are scary people. So I will emphatically not be distributing any ROMs. I am in fact editing. I own a copy of Pokemon Emerald. I have it on my desk next to me right now. I am yeah, we're good. I think we're good. But I am being somewhat careful about that because I do not want to break any laws. Please do not sue me. I'm a poor boy. Yeah. We got Emacs on Windows and it was not a good idea, 0xrar. Yeah. Any particular, I can imagine that being, I don't do much of anything on Windows, but I can imagine that being maybe negative. I've heard that some of the stuff is like very slow. That's all I really know though. I'm sort of off in my bubble because I just like this is EXWM, which is like the Emacs window manager. So if I like pop up a Firefox window, it's like it's just another Emacs buffer, right? Like I'm totally in Emacs. Yeah, what isn't slow in Windows? Yeah, I don't know. I have a Windows like VM that's like I give access to my GPU on another machine that I use for like the gaming. I don't do anything else on it, so I don't know. For me, it's just like open it up and launch Elden Ring or whatever. It's very GUI, if that makes any sense. Yeah, maybe. Huh. I know there's like menu bars and shit. Yeah. Oh yeah, and Digby. Yeah. I know Steam has done a ton with Proton. I was a Proton wine enthusiast. I remember one of my earliest gaming memories. This was in like I think 20, maybe earlier than that, 2012 maybe. I remember I was trying to play StarCraft 2 with some friends. I think this was before Heart of the Swarm came out even. It didn't run on the wine that was on just in like the Ubuntu like apt. So I remember I had to, this was way before Proton or way before even Linux Steam. It was like one of the first things I ever compiled like myself. I'd downloaded Wine with like a patch and like built it so I could play StarCraft. Yeah, I know. Elden Ring, I have a deck and I was shocked at how well it runs. Like that's on the deck. That is so nuts to me. Like this huge AAA game with anti-cheat and it runs on a Linux handheld. Like what in the world? What is that's like inconceivable. Yeah, it's awesome. Like Proton's great, and DX the DirectX Vulkan compatibility layer is really great too. That's they're just building cool stuff. I haven't done any fiddling with desktop mode. I have to confess, I bought a deck and I have hardly used it. I think I installed Elden Ring and like maybe like a couple other games just and like opened them a few times to like check them out. I think I installed Final Fantasy 14, but like I play Final Fantasy 14 with like a lot of plugins and like I didn't want to like configure, like I'm so used to keyboard that I didn't want to use a controller for it. I think I've thought about using it for yeah, I know, when you go in desktop mode you can just like use Pac-Man and stuff, which is pretty cool. I did something else too. I installed EmuDeck, I think, which is like just like a collection of emulators, and like that, and also like puts them in your Steam launcher. I've barely used it. I want to use it for. I was on a Final Fantasy 11 kick last year. I was playing tons and tons of like retail Final Fantasy 11 for the first time last year, and then I also was writing a bunch of add-ons. That's kind of a controller centric game that would be fun to play. Like, it doesn't have very high specs, and I'd love to play that in the deck. All right. What else do we have to do here? We have confusion implemented. Oh yeah, the deck certainly has more power. This thing, like, let's see. I think I upgraded the RAM in it. This was like my college laptop, I think. Like, we have 8 gigs of RAM. Oh wait. We have is there an LS CPU? Is that a thing? It's just gonna tell us like what extensions we have. But yeah, either way, like we're not running much, and we're chunking here. It'd be cool. Maybe I'll do some gaming on the deck. That might be fun. Although I kind of want to. I don't know. I want to get. I have the impression that this might be interesting to you, 0xrar, if you're still here, because I want to do some. I haven't really done a ton of like reversing stuff. I've done like the little bit that I've done here, and I do like a little bit for like my yeah, Windows does really like my VM. I have on my desktop I have like 32 gigs of RAM to split between the Linux like native side and the Windows VM. I have to give the Windows VM like 16 gigs, or just like I can't run anything. But I haven't done much reversing, and I want to like learn. I want to learn, like, I mean, I like doing everything in Emacs, right? I read books in Emacs. I don't know, check my RSS feeds in Emacs. I do email in Emacs, all this stuff. So, and there's not really like a good solution for reversing. Like, I guess I can just like run like Radari 2 or something. But what I really want to do is I want to like run like Dark Souls or something on Windows, and run like the Ghidra debugger attached to Dark Souls, and like also use Ghidra to like do decompilation and stuff, and like general reversing tasks, and then have like build a Ghidra plugin that connects to Emacs, and have the whole interface in Emacs, and stream that. And then like, yeah, I don't know, something could be cool. I like building tools as I use them is something that's like kind of exciting to me, and that'd be a fun time. And like that'd be something that's like, I think doesn't already exist, so it might be generally useful. I don't know, man. It's who knows indeed. I think, well, kind of late. I think maybe we'll call it for now. Maybe we want to web and network pen testing. Cool. Yeah, gaming is the kicker. Maybe we raid somebody. Who do we raid? I've never raided someone, and I have to confess I don't really know how it works. I think we're at a decent stopping point, like code wise, because like we implemented all the status effects and the confusion thing, and we did a bunch of nonsense. So who do we have? This little list that's showing me is not very long, and I want to raid somebody who is. I don't even know how many viewers we have, so we can. Yeah, Emacs Ghidra. I think it's. We're gonna make it happen. You know what? I think we're gonna raid. There's this other programming VTuber, Spooksy VT, who is doing some stuff. Raided me a while back, and I would love to hand it back to him. So we'll do that. Let's head over there. This was what am I typing? Yeah, I'm on the wrong keyboard. It was great talking to you folks. I hope to see you again in the future, and we'll certainly be doing more. Yeah, Ghidra is in Java, so it has there's a plugin system. So I'd write a Java plugin, like almost the same as I'm doing for this emulator stuff right now. I'd write a Java plugin that just like sends a bunch of information over the network, like JSON about like the like information about like each panel or something that I want to render in Emacs, and just like read it over the network in Emacs. Something like that. You can do worse than like firing a bunch of UTF-8 JSON over a TCP socket. All right, let's fire off this raid. Let's do it. Let's be raiding gamers. I'm gonna be brave and click the button. Hell yeah. Got 5 whole viewers. Having a good night. Have a good night yourself, Tigby, and have a good night, Wild Ivan. I hope you all have a good one. And best of luck in all future endeavors. I'll see you all around. Let's click it. Raid. Go. Engage. Begin. Yeah.